Welcome, my legend tripping tribe. Today we are at the LA Abandoned Zoo, the old LA Abandoned Zoo. In my last episode, I noticed that really bad camera stabilization. So I have a stabilizer now. I'll talk about the Ronin S another time. I mean, right now it's just sitting stagnantly, but it will move really nicely. And you can get it to track. But anyway, I just thought it would be nice to get some really good shots here. Here comes the truck. And we're at Griffith Park, which is arguably one of the most haunted parks in all of Los Angeles. There's been a lot of deaths here, a lot of misfortunes. I did the Table 29 episode, which I'll link to. One thing I haven't covered is the abandoned LA Zoo, and I want to go to that now. I'm not a proponent of zoos. This is an old abandoned zoo. I think it was constructed in 1918 or something. I'll look that up. And so let's go take a look. Oh, and also another thing we're going to do today is try the Insta360 on my homemade selfie stick. This is actually for audio, but we're going to use it as a selfie stick.
Dark in the cave?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All right, guys, we are here. So I'm going to get some good shots. The Griffith Park Zoo opened in 1912 with a grand total of 15 animals. In the mid-1920s, film producer William Nichols Selig donated many of the animals from his studios, which he had attempted to convert into an animal-themed park, to the new zoo. The zoo was expanded in the 1930s by work crews from the Work Progress Administration, and most of the enclosures were built in the caves with iron bar styles, which was then standard for zoos. As Los Angeles grew, the small Griffith Park Zoo was increasingly criticized as an inadequate, ugly, poorly designed, and under-financed collection of beat-up cages. It did draw more than 2 million visitors a year. In 1958, the city passed an $8 million bond measure to create a brand new zoo. The Griffith Park Zoo closed in August 1966, and its animals were transferred to the Los Angeles Zoo 2 miles away. The new zoo opened in November of 1966. The animal enclosures with the bars removed were left as ruins. There is now picnic benches or tables which were installed in some of them, as you can see in this video. Due to being so close to Hollywood and the LA film industry, its unusual appearance definitely has caught the eye of shooting location managers, and it's been in numerous film and television projects, everything from the old Starsky and Hutch series, Chips, and historically based cop drama Aquarius, New Adventures of Wonder Woman now, Police 2 Academy, the list just goes on and on. There have been reports of hundreds of hauntings at the zoo and even Griffith Park itself. Some people report that venturing through the park's old zoo, they hear the sounds of animals in distress. Well, there were allegations surrounding the zoo regarding animal abuse, and it is possible that that's part of the reason for its closure in 1966. Lucy's all about wanting to go through this little hole right here. You really want to go through there?
Oh my God!
All right, let's go in here. The park itself may have been haunted because of a curse said to have existed well over 150 years ago. Griffith Park has seen its share of murder investigations as well, and I talked about that somewhat in the Table 29 video. The reports of murders or even the disposal of dead bodies in the park have given way to numerous homicide investigations over the years. Even recently, there was an investigation surrounding the discovery of a human skull that was found on the park grounds. The skull apparently belonged to a woman who was believed to be in her early 20s at the time of her death. Oddly, the cause of her death or why it happened is still unclear to this day. At one time, Griffith Park was a piece of land that was owned by a rancher named Don Antonio Feliz. Before dying of smallpox in 1963, a local politician was drawing up Felice's will, which seemed to look like the politician and his attorney were trying to deceive Felice's family out of a land deal. When Felice's niece learned of this little behind-the-back deal, she allegedly declared a curse on the politician and his family. By what means and by what sort of craft or whatever, voodoo, I don't know. True or not, events that happened after the fact were interesting. The attorney involved in the swindling of the property was later shot to death by an unknown assailant. The next landowner's cattle had contracted a disease, and eventually all the animals ended up dying. And to add more insult to injury, the crops were destroyed by fire and pests.
The current LA Zoo is just about 1.5 miles that way. And it's probably closed. I've been there. There's a really crazy wall down here I'm going to show you.
Right before Griffith Park was converted into a park, a nasty thunderstorm rolled through the Los Angeles area and caused major flood damage. There were reports of a shadowy figure cheering and hollering during the storm. It's believed that it may have been the ghost of Felice himself. During the Depression, more than 30 civilian workers were also killed when a wildfire swept through the park. More than 4 decades later, a couple visiting the park were killed when a falling tree crushed them both to death. Again, see my Table 29 video. And in the windshield it started to write, "Next time you die." That's the story. These are just a sample of the curse events that continue to this day. In conclusion, though, the old zoo at Griffith Park is one of the many places inside the park itself that may be part of a very dark and sinister history. It's a popular place and people from all over visit it. I couldn't help feeling unrest and eerie feelings the whole time. I did very little research before visiting, and I wanted to know if I would pick up on anything. Now look, I do not propose to be a psychic, but I do get very overwhelming feelings about people and places, and many, many, many times I am dead on. I was about this place. Even just the gang initiations alone, I'm sure, hold some torrid tales. Want to visit here? I recommend it. Bring your hiking shoes, wear long sleeves if you're going to crawl through the caves, and my advice is don't bring any souvenirs home. You might just bring a curse along with you.
Well, that concludes this one. I hope you learned something about the abandoned zoo. I know I did. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button if you like this video, and ring the bell so that you get notifications. Till next time, take care of each other and keep rock alive.